Hi, Helen here from Lingard.com. Now, I started off this morning not having a good day, but I had to go see family, and so I plugged into self empowerment. And for the journey up there and journey back, I listened to these inner circle audios, which were just amazing and inspired me to do this video and write this blog post. Several years ago, um, I was in a job and I went through a very challenging time. And like I say, I'm a single mum. I live away from my family. I live in New Zealand. My family live in the UK. And over here, I have myself and my children. And I received one of those phone calls that you don't want to receive. And it was saying that it was my mother telling me that one of my sisters had died suddenly. And as you can imagine, I was just thrown into turmoil, just awful, 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 awful. This happened in August. We've just celebrated or commemorated the 6-year anniversary. I had this job, and I took time off through grief, and we decided not to go back right then, but to go back at Christmas time. And so I went back to work, and things weren't great. It was a trying time. And just before we were going back for Christmas, and shortly before Christmas, I went into a meeting, and I wasn't told directly. I was told in this meeting with all these other people that my job was disestablished, and I was just kind of in shock. I was still going through bereavement, and my job was disestablished. And I went back to my desk, and I was just didn't know how to react. And after the announcement, my director called me in and said, "Don't worry," he said, "nothing's going to change. Go home, spend time with your family, and come back in the new year, and we'll sort things out." So I went back, and whilst I was back there, my sister had died from an undiagnosed heart condition, and my surviving sister said to me, "You need to get checked out when you go back." So I went back to New Zealand. And as well as I went back to my job, and my new role had been announced. So I was taking on my new role, which was involved lots of training, plus my old role. And plus I went to see a cardiologist who did various tests and diagnosed that I had a similar condition to my sister. So you can imagine, this was really tough to listen to. And I was a single parent with my children. And so I started my new job whilst doing my old job, and it was really stressful. Plus, I went to I continued to see the cardiologist and have various tests, and it was a really scary time. Not only this, but I was told by HR they were watching me, and some things had happened beforehand. I'm not somebody who I speak up for myself, and I'd upset somebody, a previous manager. So this HR person was telling me, "We're keeping an eye on you." So I spent the next year trying to do this job, which I wasn't in the right space to do, with management watching me and HR watching me. At one stage, I was told when they say to you jump, you ask how high, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what's going on here?" And it was a very stressful time. Like I said, going to the hospital. And I was so stressed that I would go and watch my son's football game, and I'd get palpitations, and everyone gets palpitations, but I'd think, "Oh my God, I'm dying." So I'd go off to casualty, and I'd spend hours there. I hadn't told my children. And I was okay. It was all brought on by stress. And so it was a really bad year, really, really bad year. I lost a ton of weight. My clothes were falling off me because I'd lost so much weight. I couldn't eat. I was being sick. I was just having a terrible time. And all along, I kept going to the hospital, having more tests, and they were keeping an eye on me, and I was being continually bullied at work. And so it was just a really tough time. Why am I sharing this story? Well, by Christmas time, I decided enough was enough. Some things happened at work, and I knew I'd been treated badly, but I also, I take some responsibility for it. I brought this on to myself. I'm not, I was in victim mode then, but since then I've learned. So anyway, I decided to leave, and because they treated me badly, they paid me out. So I left my job at Christmas time. And whilst I still had the health issues, it was like a huge weight was off my shoulders. In the new year, I began to immerse myself in personal development, and I haven't looked back. And to meet me now, you'd never know I'd gone through that struggle. And I've been through many struggles since. And because I've immersed myself in personal development, I've been able to cope with those struggles. It has helped me so much. And I started a blog that year, the following year I left the job. But back then, that blog didn't pay me. And then I got involved in this business a few years later. And you make money out of this business, and you share your passions and you share your stories. And when people join your business, you make money. So I want to share this story because we all go through struggles, and as single parents, it's doubly hard because we're going through our own. And all I had was myself. I didn't talk to my children. I didn't talk to my family about it. I went through it on my own. I told some friends and they helped me. But my immersing myself in personal development did so much for me, and it can do so much for you too. And so if you want to know more about this or what I'm doing now, click on the link below and connect with me, or leave your comment. I'd love to hear your comments. And now I work from home. And the beauty of it is I get to travel. I've traveled to the UK a couple of times in the last few years. I've traveled to Hong Kong. I've traveled to Singapore. I've traveled to Denver. And I love to travel. I love to give back. And that's why I do this. And I'm still a single parent. My children are older now, but they still need me, and I'm here for my son working from home. So again, click on the links below and find out more. And if this has empowered you, please leave a comment below, and I look forward to hearing from you.